Okay, so in last class we have discussed that the problem. Okay, so what is the minimum that critical hold time we have calculated based on that layout. Okay, so we have calculated all the capacitances, and then what is the minimum capacitances, so that we will calculate the minimum time. Okay, that minimum time to store that charge or discharge. Okay, so that for is 5-volt supply. So same thing if you'll calculate in a lower technology or 1.2 voltage lower technology, so definitely we'll get that critical hold time will be less. So in that case we get that in millisecond, but if we calculate in 1.2 voltage and lower technology, it may be in microsecond. Okay, so that thing we are already said in that previous class. So if the voltage will change, the technology will change, so definitely this charging storage time or discharging time will change also. Okay, so these things we have discussed. Now we'll discuss that voltage bootstrapping circuit. So here in this dynamic logic circuit, everybody understood that. So suppose this is an inverter. Okay, so this is your soft node, and this is CP, and this is your clock, and this is your in. Okay, so this capacitor is the parasitic capacitance, and it will store the charges when this is on. Okay, so whatever the input, either it's VDD or ground, so that will pass to here and it will charge. Okay, so if it is VDD, okay, if it is VDD, then you are getting VDD minus VT. Okay, so this is the disadvantage. That means this voltage is the one threshold voltage drop from the input. Okay, suppose this is 5 volt, or threshold voltage, suppose VT is equal to 0.8 volt, then we will get 5 minus 0.8, that is 4.2 voltage. Okay, or again that 0.8 voltage, again due to this body bias effect, BSB. Okay, BSB means, so this is V max, VDD minus VT, then the bulk is ground. Okay, again this voltage will increase. Suppose it is increased to maybe 1 voltage. Suppose VT is equal to 1 point or 1 voltage or more than that. So again this Vx will decrease to 4 voltage. Okay, so after that, when this clock is off, again this voltage will decrease due to the current flowing in this direction, that is that subthreshold current plus leakage current. So it will decrease when this voltage will be less than 0.25, 2.5. Okay, if Vx less than 2.5, then the functionality will be changed. Okay, what we actually need, that will not get. So that is the problem. So due to this problem, okay, so your output functionality incorrect. So that's why to remove that problem, so we have a solution, that is in dynamic circuit, that is voltage bootstrapping. Okay, voltage bootstrapping circuit, it is used to enhance this voltage. Okay, suppose this is VDD, so we will not get VDD minus VT. Okay, we will get means maximum voltage, that VDD, okay, or more than VDD. Okay, so that will not get at any time, will not get any error functionality here. Okay, if this voltage will be more than VDD or VDD, so at least will not get any error. So that's why this circuit is called voltage bootstrapping circuit. So voltage bootstrapping means it means how it will manage from this circuit. Okay, so this is the meaning, means within this circuit how it will boost this voltage. Okay, without any means extra additional voltage or anything voltage, extra voltage, without any giving any extra voltage, how will boost this voltage. So this is bootstrapping. Okay, so how we'll do that? That thing we'll study in this lecture. So first of all, suppose for example a dynamic circuit. Okay, so this is a circuit, suppose for example. So this is your suppose Vx, whatever the Vx we are getting in the previous circuit. So that Vx is giving to this, and this is your VDD, and this is your ground. Okay, and this is your V in. Okay, and this is your output parasitic capacitance. Now this is working as an inverter. Okay, so this point is both are NMOS. Okay, this is NMOS, this is also NMOS. Okay, so in this circuit you can see when V in is equal to 1 or high. So what happened? High means this transistor will on. Okay, that means this voltage will be low. You can say V output low. Okay, this circuit is low. So that time there is no current flow, and this is the Vx coming from the previous circuit. Okay, previous dynamic circuit. Okay. So this is the case when V in is equal to low or 0, you can say. So what happened? So this transistor is off. Okay, so now whatever the voltage is here, so that voltage minus Vt will come to here. Okay, so think about this. This circuit is nothing but this type of circuit. Okay, this is gate is something Vx. This is your VDD. This is your output, like that. Okay, so if this voltage either is VDD or less than VDD, whatever, so that here you will get, so means drop, that one threshold voltage drop you will get here. Okay, no, if it's VDD, it's VDD minus Vt, suppose it's M1, it's M2, so you'll get VDD minus Vt2. We get here. Okay. So again, if this voltage will drop, okay, so this voltage will drop. If first of all, see, if this voltage will be dropped, what happen? So if you drive another circuit, okay, so what happen? So when this will be off, okay, so due to this discharge in this path, again that is a subthreshold current plus leakage current. Due to again this voltage, again it will reduce. Then after some time it's VDD by 2, VDD by 2. So this will finally means it will drive the circuit, whatever the circuit in that inverter or buffer. So output will be the incorrect value. Okay, what we intend. So that's why we need to increase this value. Okay, so if you increase this value, then means the thing is, if this value will increase, then definitely this value will be VDD. That means for to get VDD here always, to get VDD at this point, so we need to fix this voltage at least Vx plus Vt2. Okay. So, but this is the Vx, but how we'll add this value? Okay. So at least Vx plus Vt2 or more than that, okay, or more than VDD. So for that, what we will do? We will add another transistor here. Okay. So this is the circuit. So this is your V in. So another NMOS will So this point is nothing but Vx. Okay. So again here the two parasitic capacitance will come, because this capacitance is nothing but, suppose this is Cs and this is C put. Okay. So Cs is nothing but from this point get to source capacitance. Okay, this is a get to source capacitance, plus here another capacitance in this region. Okay, that is from suppose this is source to bulk or source to substrate, that capacitance. Okay, so this two capacitance is nothing but this Cs. Okay, and here again from this source to this capacitances. Okay, source to that this gate to source, plus if it is connected to bulk. Okay, this is connected to either ground or here. Okay, so due to that, and also if connected metal and poly, all these capacitance will come to here. So here you will get one capacitance, here you will get one. That are the parasitic capacitance. Okay, so these things you are getting or not? So though this point is connected to gate of this transistor and source of this transistor, so due to that you will get a one capacitance. Again in between this gate to source. Okay, so you will get another capacitances. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting? This is ground terminal means to bulk. Okay, so here get to bulk, here or source to bulk, whatever the capacitance you will get here, but here get to source capacitance. Okay, these things you have discussed. So these two capacitance, these are the parasitic capacitances. Okay, so now this is the bootstrapping circuit. So how this voltage, this is Vx, how this voltage will increase, so that thing we'll discuss. So this is suppose VDD. Okay, so first thing, when V in is equal to 1, so what happened? So this transistor will on. Okay, this transistor on. So here also one capacitance, because this will drive. So V out, C out, you can say. So this will drive another circuit. So when V in is equal to 1, so whatever this is on, so this is on means direct ground will get. So here this point is 0 or VOL, you can say, minimum voltage. Okay, VOL, this voltage. So that time there is no current flow in between these transistors. Okay, so at that time what happened? Though this is VDD, okay, this is also VDD. At this point, what voltage you will get? Here, what is Vx? At when V in is equal to 1, what is Vx?
VDD
minus. Suppose this is M1, this is M2, this is M3. What is VDD minus?
VT3.
VT3. Okay. So see, this is VDD. Your one terminal is VDD. Gate is also on VDD. Okay. This is in saturation. Okay. So here, this is one capacitance. It is like this circuit. This is VDD. This is VDD. Okay. This is one capacitance. Yes or no? This is Vx. Same circuit or not? This circuit. So you will get VDD minus VT3. So this point voltage is VDD minus VT3. Clear? So now, yes, how will increase this value? Okay. So now, after that, when it at steady state, when this value is VDD minus VT3, so after that no current will flow. Okay, everything is steady state. here there is no current flow, here there is no current flow, everything, this is VT2 minus VT, this is VT2 minus VT2, okay, everything is okay. Now, when, again I am drawing that circuit. So C boot, C S, you can say C substrate. Actually, this is substrate, this is boot, and this is V in. C out, this is V out. Okay, this is M1, M2, M3, this is PD. Okay. So now this point is nothing but your Vx. So when V in is equal to your high, so at that point, so V out is equal to VOL and Vx is equal to your VDD minus VT3. Okay, so clear. Now when V in will be, so after some time V in will be 0 or low. So what happened? So this M1 will off or on?
Off.
This is off. So if this is off, now this node is floating and this node will try to charge. Initially it was VOL. Okay. Now this node will be trying to charge. Okay. This capacitance. Okay. So this capacitance is charged in this way. So here you can see there is no current flow here. When this voltage node, this node will increase. Okay, so this voltage will increase, but everything is steady state. So capacitor is charged to some voltage. Here also it is charged to some voltage. But this, when there is a change in voltage here, okay, so that will try to flow a transient current in this path. Okay, when this voltage will be more, initially it was V1, now if it will increase, then there is a path in this way. Okay, so it's a transient current will flow in this path. Okay, so once the transient current will flow, if this voltage will increase, again this voltage will increase. Yes or no? Because this is at steady state is charged to fixed voltage. So if this voltage will increase, again this voltage will increase. Okay, that means a transient current is flowing in this path. Okay, so though there is a one path here, so we can say the same current is flowing in this path and in this path. Yes or no? That means we can suppose, we can say it's ICS, or you can say it's I boot, C boot. Okay, that is here in this path, you can say it's IC boot, and in this path it's ICS. So and here both currents are almost same because this path is off. Okay, there is no current flow in this here. So the transient current will flow in this path. That means both are same. ICS is equal to IC boot. Okay, that's change in current, transient current. Okay, when this voltage node voltage will increase. Okay. So here you can write ICS equal to IC boot. Okay, is equal to this part. This part is nothing but your means it's a current. Current is C dV by dt, na? So CS d Vx by dt. Yes or no? Because this is Vx. Okay, current is flowing. So this current you can define as C dV by dt. Okay, and again here also you can define your C boot Okay, here D, here voltage is difference between this and this. Okay, so current is flowing in this direction. This V out minus Vx. Okay, whatever the voltage change, so that is the current. So now we can equate to both Cs dVx by dt is equal to C boot dV out minus Vx by dt. Yes or no? This part you understood, or you have any doubt?
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay, so the transient current is flowing in this path, both currents are same, so that the current here and here, so this is the equation of that current. Okay, so now if you will arrange in proper way, so what you will get, C here CB dx, here plus C dx, so CS plus C boot. Okay, so dVx by dt is equal to here C boot dV out by dt. Yes or no? So now your dVx by dt is equal to change in voltage at Vx is equal to C boot by CS plus C boot into dV out by dt. Now here you can see in this equation, you can see what we have discussed. If V out will increase, okay, change in V out will reflect here or not? Change in Vx, where this is a constant part. Okay, so if this voltage will change, so this voltage will change. Yes or no? So proportionality, there is a proportional change or not? So if this voltage V out will increase, then definitely Vx will increase. Okay, but I have said if this voltage will increase, though it's a current flowing, so that voltage will increase. Okay, so this is the important equation. Now you can integrate this thing, you can calculate. Okay, so if you will integrate that Vx, okay, so from that equation, what we have got, dVx by dt is equal to C boot by CS plus C boot. Okay, so dV out by dt. Okay, so dt cancel, you can so integrate dVx is equal to your C boot by CS plus C boot. So integration of dV out. Okay, so here the limit is initially the Vx was your VDD minus what? Initially
VT3.
VT3. Okay, so finally it will be go to Vx. So here V out initially it was VOL. Yes or no? When it was 1, that was VOL. When the V in come to 0, then it will start increasing from that VOL. Okay, so VOL2 it will go to VDD. Maximum it will go to VDD because the top one here you can see this is VDD. So this point will go to VDD. Okay, so this is VDD minus VT to Vx, and this is VOL to VDD. So here you can write, so VDD minus VT3, so here Vx, so here VOL minus VT, here VDD. So this is the, so now if we'll integrate this, you can get so Vx minus VDD minus VT3, here C boot by CS plus C boot, here your VDD minus VOL. Yes or no? No. So now you can calculate here Vx is equal to your VDD minus VT3 plus C boot CS plus C boot. Okay, and this is VDD minus VOL. So now you can see initially it was VDD minus VT3. So now another part will there. So Vx is nothing but C boot by CS plus C boot. So if here, if both capacitor will be means same, if C boot is equal to CS, what happen? So another, suppose VOL is equal to 0. Okay, so half VDD means VDD minus VT3 plus half VDD will be the VOX. Initially it was VDD minus VT3. So now it is VDD minus VT3 plus 0.5 VDD. Okay, so it is added some voltage. When your output will increase, so automatically this will increase also. Okay, so this is the thing. So how this Vx will automatically increase when output will increase. Okay, so this is called the bootstrapping. Okay, so now here you can again here C boot and CS. So these three are important factors here. So this voltage we can increase by changing this ratio. Okay, so if this C boot will be very, very high, okay, in compared to CS, okay, so almost you can add VDD, because if V boot will be very, very high than CS, so almost this factor will be, this term will be 1. Yes or no? If C boot is very, very higher than CS, so this is 1. So if it is 1, then means you can get Vx is equal to 2 VDD minus VT3 minus VOL. Okay, so you can increase this Vox. Initially it was VDD minus VT3. Suppose VDD was 5 voltage, VT3 is suppose 1 voltage. Initially it was 4 volt. Now you can increase, this is 10 minus 1 minus VOL, suppose 0.1 voltage, like that. That was 0 voltage. So you can increase to 9 voltage. Okay, so that is automatically, means without any additional voltage. So by adding one simple transistor in this circuit, we are increasing that Vx. So whatever we have discussed initially, so in this circuit, so this is generally Vx. Okay, so by using that circuit here, so you can increase this voltage. Okay, so that means that was the disadvantage. When this voltage was dropped by 1 threshold voltage, so after some time it will decrease to VDD by 2. Okay, so that will create a incorrect output. Okay, so now if you will increase this value, then the output will be correct always. Okay, when that means that clock period will be less or more, it's not depends. So that means when the voltage will change at the output, so that voltage will change the Vx and you will get the correct output. So this is the main thing here. So clear about this, how this advantage for this dynamic circuit?
Sir, just one doubt. Sir, in that bootstrapping circuit where we are adding one MOSFET, sir, the CS capacitance and the C boot capacitance, the C boot capacitance is the gate to source and the gate to bulk capacitance, sum of those two.
You can say, see, if I'll draw the circuit, you can.
Yes, sir.
So the capacitance is here. Okay, another okay. So this is C boot, and this is CS. So here get to source capacitance. Obviously, get to source capacitance, and another thing you are saying, get to bulk.
Yes, sir.
Get to, if this bulk is connected to this point, that means it is same as that get to source capacitance. If this bulk is connected to ground, so what happen? You will get a capacitance these two ground. Okay, that is added to here also. Okay, so only you can say it's get to source capacitance, or you can say, another capacitance. Suppose this is get to drain capacitance will be there. Again, that will, if Miller thing will come, that will come to here. Okay, only that get to source capacitances. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, my question was that if C boot is this, so CS capacitance is in this MOSFET, it is gate to source to ground and bulk to ground.
Yes, source to ground means source to substrate.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. To substrate and bulk to substrate. Sir,
Yes.
gate to substrate.
Get to substrate, yes, get to substrate. That I said. If this is ground, okay,
Yes.
get to substrate capacitance will come to here.
Sir, so during cutoff, when the bootstrapping capacitance MOSFET is in cutoff, so the CGB and the CDS means the drain to gate capacitance.
And this
that-
CGB you are saying.
yes, sir.
Okay, so this CGB, okay.
So CGB and the CDB.
CDB of this, okay, CDB.
Sir,
CDB. Oh, this.
during cutoff, CGP will be 0 because there will be during when the channel is formed, CGP will be 0 when this MOSFET is on.
CGB, yes, huh.
Yes, sir. Then the CDB, as because this will be in saturation because Vx will be VDD minus VT3 and this drain will be VDD. So CDB will be 0 because we are having the pinch of.
Yeah, 0 is very less, yes. Huh.
Yes. So C boot will be comparatively less as compared to CS then?
Yes, that's why actually, yeah, C boot is less, but actually in real circuit, okay, so in real circuit, so there is another MOSFET is added to enhance the C boot capacitance. Okay, so this is the circuit. Here you can say here another circuit like this source, and so this is your gain. So this is your capacitances. Okay, so this is your MOSCAP. Okay, though this value is less, so another capacitance. So MOSCAP will add to this in region. This is your output. Okay, so this point to this point. So this is a huge capacitance. You can control this capacitance by changing this width and width or length. So you can add this capacitance to higher value.
Yes, sir.
So in the real circuit, you have to add another MOSFET capacitor to enhance this C boot. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So clear. So in this way, so you can increase this value. Okay. So now you can see. So here V max is equal to. So you can calculate Vx max. Maximum voltage will be your 2 VDD minus VT3, okay, minus VOL, okay, and this is the maximum, okay. But at the output, okay, so at the output of that circuit, So this is the output, suppose. So this is suppose boot capacitance. This is CS. So actually, capacitor is there, but I'm not drawing here. So here we need this V out is equal to VDD. Okay. So if this is, we need VDD always. So this point should be Vx should be VDD plus VT2. Okay. So here this voltage should be VDD plus VT2. Okay, this is actually requirement, but we are getting this maximum value. Okay, so the Vx minimum we require VDD plus VT2. Okay, if this voltage will be VDD plus VT2, then you can get VDD, that will be sufficient for our operation. Okay, so if you equate this thing, so your means VDD plus VT2, so is equal to your VDD minus VT3. Okay, so plus that value means here if you put that previous equation, C boot by CS plus C boot. Okay, so this is maximum, but actual equation is C boot into that VDD minus VOL. Okay, so if you equate that, finally what you will get? You will get a ratio. Okay, so what will if we'll do the means properly arrange this thing, so finally you will get C boot by CS plus C boot, so is equal to is VT2 plus VT3, VT2 plus VT3 by, so VDD minus VO. Okay, so this VDD VT2 cancels, so this will be the final thing. So again here this is C boot by CS plus C boot, but if you calculate only C boot by CS, so you need what is the means to satisfy this condition. So what will be the ratio between C boot and CS? So if you will calculate, so finally you will get, so VT2 plus VT3. You can calculate this VT2 by VT3, VT2 plus VT3 by VDD minus VOL minus VT2 minus VT3. So this is the final equation. So if you will maintain this ratio, C boot by CS is equal to this, then you will get Vx minimum, this is VDD plus VT2, and output will be VDD. Okay, so to make this C boot, so we have to add, this is the final circuit, we have to add another capacitance here. Okay, so this is source and drain, this is generally called MOSFET. Okay, so here one terminal and this is another terminal. Okay, this is act as a MOS capacitor. So this is your Vin. Okay, so this is your actual circuit. So for mathematical analysis, I draw the capacitor, but no need to draw the capacitor here. You can see. Okay, so this point to this point, this is your output V out. Okay, this point to this point, this is your C boot. Okay, and from this point, that is your CS. Okay, so C boot by C also. So that will be sufficient. If you calculate that C boot, then for that this point Vx, to make it VDD plus VT2. So we'll get a value that C boot to CS. So that value you have to implement here. Okay. So clear? So how, by changing this voltage, if we'll increase this voltage, how this voltage is increasing? Clear? So now finally, if we'll see the graph, okay, so suppose we'll get the actual graph. So suppose this is your, it's a transient graph, we'll say, suppose this is your time, okay, microsecond or millisecond. So initially suppose your V in is equal to 1, and after some time your V in will be, suppose low, or low means V. Okay. So at that point what happened, initially when this value is equal to 1, so your V out almost VOL, okay, and your VOX, okay, so VOX will be that VDD minus VT, okay, VDD minus VT3. So suppose here, okay, so this is suppose 5 volts, so this is 4 volt, is almost 0.1 volt, like that. So initially, so it was there. When this will be from 1 to 0, what happened? So it will gradually increase this value to some, this value will increase to VDD. Okay, so this value will increase to VDD, and V out will increase to VDD. Then this value, so this is V out, and this is nothing but your Vx. So this will increase again, okay, some other, okay, higher value. So clear this graph?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So initially when it was 1, so this is the nominal value you'll get. Okay, so VD minus VT, and this is low value. When this is 0, so it will gradually increase, and once it will increase, this value also increase. Okay. So this is your voltage bootstrapping circuit. So in dynamic logic, in dual circuits, this is used to boost that Vx. Okay. So clear, everyone clear about this circuit and its operations, and how the capacitance are charging, what is the ratio, and to make that C boost, what will add, okay, one MOSFET will add for that. So all these things is clear. How the transient current is flowing, so in between that C boost and CS, okay. So clear, everyone clear, or if you have any doubt? Okay.
Yes,
so,
sir, clear.
Okay, thanks. Then next thing is, if you are clear, then we'll discuss that synchronous dynamic circuit. So again, that synchronous dynamic circuit will take one class. Okay, just I'll give the basic idea what is synchronous dynamic circuit. Okay, so initially, what are the static circuits we have discussed, and that means it's combinational circuits. So that was not synchronous. Okay, synchronous means a particular clock. So it will not, the output will not come at the particular clock edge. Okay, it's asynchronous. Means after some delay it will come. It will not depend upon that clock. Okay, so how to make that synchronous? Okay, when clock will come, then output will come. Okay, so that type of circuit is called synchronous dynamic circuit. Okay, so here it is called dynamic pass transistor circuit also. For example, suppose I will draw a circuit. Tomorrow I will next class I will discuss in detail. Just I will say this is synchronous dynamic circuit. Okay, so here, for example, suppose a shift register. Okay, shift register means for every clock, already you know the shift register. Suppose it's a D flip-flop. Okay, so this is D. So Q. This is your clock. Okay, so suppose this is VDD. Okay, this is your clock. This is just suppose. So this is 3. So when this is 1, so when clock is equal to 1, okay. So what happen? Whatever the data, it will come to here. Yes or no? So whatever the data was here previously, that will come to here, and whatever the data was previously, that will come to here. Okay. So in the next clock, what happen? So this data will come to here, and that data will come to here. In the next clock, so this data will come to here, like that. So this is the shift register. So these thing also you can implement in dynamic logic circuits. Okay. Suppose how will implement here? Suppose this is V in and this is your clock. Suppose phi 1, this is your clock, and this is Vx point C Cx, suppose, or C in 1, Cx1. So this is will include an inverter here, depletion mode inverter. So ground. So this is the input of NMOS. Okay. So again, at the output, another pass transistor will be there. Okay, this will be phi 2. Okay, so phi 2 means that is, suppose this is clock like this. So this is phi 1. So this will be like this. Okay. So again, this is a pass transistor. Again, another inverter will become dynamic. So again, another pass transistor. Okay. So this will be again phi 1. Okay. So next, another inverter. So this is inverter. Okay, so this is your output. So now you can see, if you give V in here, suppose VDD, you have given VDD. So when this phi 1 means this time, this is 1 means, so that will pass to here. Okay, so pass to here, and that time this will be off because phi 2 will be 0. Yes or no? See, this is phi 1, clock 1 is 1, that means this is on and this is off, again this is on. So whatever the things here, it will pass to here. Okay, and this signal will inverted to this point. Okay, so at that point that is off, it will not pass to here. So again, when another clock cycle will come, okay, at this point, okay, next point, this will be off, this and this will be off, and this will be on. So whatever the signal is here, that will pass to here. Okay, so it will retain that value. Okay, in the next clock, so again this signal will pass to here. Okay, so pass to here, and it will come to output. That means at 3 consecutive signals, at this point, signal will come to here, and this signal at this point, signal will come to here. Okay, yes, here, and this signal will come to here. That means it will shift register. It's work as a shift register. But same thing if you'll implement in that sequential logic. So 3 flip-flops will be there. Okay, 3 flip-flops. Okay, so inside flip-flop, you know how much 2 latches are there. Okay, 2 latches. So inside one latch, you know, that is one transmission gate, 2 transmission gate, and 2 inverters. Okay, 2 transmission gates, 4 transistors, and here also 4 transistors. Okay, one latch. In another latch also another 8 transistors, total 16 transistors. Okay, but here for one block you can see this is 1 transistor, this is 2 transistor. Okay, so 3 transistors instead of 16, you can use 3 transistors. Okay, so in this way you can means for every circuit you can by it's synchronous, means when clock will come the data will pass. Okay, similarly for combinatorial circuits also you can use clock to pass the data. Okay, so for example suppose a OAI circuits means OR and invert. Okay, already a complex circuit. So for that, suppose this is your circuit, or it's not nor or. So or then and invert. So this is your circuit. So for this is A, B, C. Okay. Then this circuit suppose will connect to another NAND gate. Okay, another NAND gate means, so this is the another NAND gate. Okay, so what happens we can do here? So here you can use 3 pass transistors. Okay, so we'll connect all with a clock. Okay, this is A, B, C, and again here also you will use a pass transistor here, and here also we'll use a pass transistor. Okay, and we will connect to phi 2. Okay, suppose this is your D. So what happened during the first clock? See, during the first clock, when clock is equal to 1, so what happened? So all the 3 signals will pass to here. Okay, and it will give the functionality here. Okay, whatever the functionality ABC, according to ABC, so you will get. But this will not pass to here until and unless this phi 2 is on. Okay, so when the phi 2 is on, in the next clock cycle, what happen? Whatever the data is here, so that will pass. Okay, so that data will retain in a capacitor, that parasitic capacitors. Okay, and when D is there, so once this clock will on, that will. So that means when this clock is on, so we'll get data here. When this clock will on, we'll get data here. That means it's synchronous. So that thing we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, synchronous dynamic circuit techniques, and it depends upon the clock edge. Okay, when the clock edge will come, so at that point you'll get the outputs. So this thing we'll discuss in the next class. So today's class you understood or not, that bootstrapping circuit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you all. So we'll stop here. So next class tomorrow tomorrow will not take any class because tomorrow you have